I'm Kyle Gorman with the Employer Blueprint, and today we're going to talk about negotiating tips. Through the course of our career, we all have to negotiate something, whether it be a promotion, maybe it's just simply negotiating with a team member or a coworker as we're trying to work through a particular project. So how do we negotiate effectively yet assertively without being overbearing? Well, let's talk about some few ways that I would suggest. The first thing that I'm going to recommend is you need to do your research so that you know your stance. You need to understand your stance inside and out so that any question that comes up, anything that gets debated, you know how you're going to address that and handle it head on. The second thing that I recommend, and this is what often gets overlooked, is you need to know the stance of the person that you are negotiating with. This is where we often fail to do our research because we want to know where we stand, but we don't really care or understand where someone else stands that we're actually trying to negotiate with. But this is important for you to get their stance, for you to step in their shoes for a minute and understand where they're coming from and why they're passionate about their side. So do your research to understand the stance of the individual that you're actually negotiating with. The third thing that I recommend is understand the difference between what you want and what you need. Often whenever we're negotiating, there's going to have to be a give and take, there's going to have to be a balance, and you need to understand, maybe even write out a list of exactly what you need through this process and then those things that you would like to have or that you would want, so that you know these are the absolutes. I can't budge on these things, but I can budge on the others, so we can create a win-win situation in this negotiating challenge. So make sure you really understand your needs versus your wants, and in order to do that, you're going to have to take a more objective view and kind of step outside of your shoes for a minute. And when all else fails, and this is really important, maintain walkaway power. If we really understand where we're coming from and we understand what our needs are, if we know these are the things that I can't budge, I can't negotiate on these specific items, then you need to be able to maintain walkaway power and be mentally prepared for that. Whether you are negotiating a career change, whether you are negotiating a contract, whether you're negotiating with a big client or an employee that comes in that's needing something and you know there's going to be some sort of give and take in negotiation, you need to be comfortable and willing and able to walk away from that situation and know that you may lose, if you will. Whether that means you may lose a client, you may lose an employee, you may lose possibly even just a little bit of your pride. But understand that you may lose in some sorts of situations, but be prepared to walk away if needed. So these are just a few things that I recommend to be prepared for when planning for a negotiation. Obviously, each individual situation is going to be a little bit different, and I'd love to hear about that if you are planning for something coming up. But in the meantime, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel for more great information about becoming a great business leader. I'm Kyle Gorman with the Employer Blueprint.